What are operators? We're going to move on to conditionals, right? And this is basically, if you think about a condition, it's like making a decision. It's decision making. You have to choose between one condition or the other. Okay. Um, whether something is greater than, whether something is smaller than or less than. Okay. Conditionals, again, is how a program makes decisions. The key word for conditionals, even if you're using a different language, it's probably always going to be if, right? The keyword if checks whether a whether a condition is true or false. Sorry for that. The keyword if checks whether a condition is true or false. So, for example, you say, is the total less than my budget? If it's yes, then the code runs below it, right? So we'll check that now. So we'll say if the total is greater than, if the total is less than, Yammer. If the total is less than the budget, print out you are under budget. Okay. Do you guys notice something? Tell me if you notice it. Do you? Okay. So do you notice that we don't have budget? Okay. So what does that mean? Budget doesn't have or is not a variable. So it's calling something that doesn't exist. I am so sure that will not run. So if you check here, you go to problems, they'll say that could not find the name budget because we did not declare it. Okay, guys? So above that, we're going to give budget up here and we're going to give it a quantity, right? A standard quantity. We've got 20 bucks. Okay? Got 20 bucks. You like whatever we buy, we'll check if we're over or under the budget. Okay? So let's check. So we're going to close this over here so that our code actually runs and we're going to run it again. So it's going to ask us for the price and the quantity. Okay? So what is the item price? It's 5. How many do I need? I need 2. Okay? So now it's saying your total is 10. So therefore, you are under budget because I only have 20 bucks. Okay? So if I calculate this again and I run this and I say, okay, what is the price of the item? It's 20. Make it 21. How many of those do I need? I need 1. Do you see what happened? Do you see? Is it 1 plus 1? Is it adding up? It didn't run our code for us. It didn't run lines 19 and 20. Okay? So what we're going to do here is see what's going to happen. But before we move on to that, right? I want you guys to notice something about the print when it comes to your if statements, right? Do you notice that there's an indentation here? Indentation is like a little bit of a space, right? Indentation is very important in Python. It tells the program which code belongs inside of that little condition that we have. The condition is our if statement that we have there, right? Sorry. So what we're going to do here, in order, remember, we've now gone over budget. We're not under budget anymore. Okay? So what we need to do is to say, is to give it a condition to check if it is under budget and if it is over budget. Okay, there's one more that we need to add on, but we're going to do it piece by piece. Okay, so we've got if it is under budget, but now we need to make it so that it is. We need to check if it is oh, we need to check if it is over budget. Yes. So we're going to do an else, and what that is going to do is we're going to print sorry, you are over budget. Okay, so let's close this and let's run this again. Dum dum dum. What is the item price? 21. How many do I need? I need one. And do you guys notice that it now ran our lines 19 to 22? And it's telling me, hey, you're over budget. Like, you can't afford, you can't afford, you can't afford. So, that is really dope. However, there is another condition. There's always another condition. And that is to check whether or not it is equal to your budget. Right? Or maybe whether or not you've used your full budget. So now it's like, hey, you don't have any more money. Like, stop. You can't buy any more, babe. Okay? And what we use for that is an elif. Okay? Sorry. So we'll go total, right, is equal to the budget. And that will print you used your full budget. You used your full budget, babe. So now our app is telling us like, cut it out, cut it out. So let's see if that works. Okay? What does it mean to use our full budget? Let's see. So now we're going to run it. And we're going to say the price is 20. How many do you need? You need one. And it's saying your total is 20 and you've used your full budget, babe. So that means you're done, right? Remember, conditionals is decision making. And this is how we tell the computer or the programming language that we're using whether or not to check if a condition is true or false, especially if we're using an if statement or an if condition, right? So we are trying to check here if you are under budget, is that true or false? Have you used your full budget? Is that true or false? Or if you've gone over budget, okay? Then the next thing that we need to learn is indentation. Indentation is very important to understand whether or not this code belongs to this condition, right? So we need to indent it to make sure like this stays with this, okay?